Hi guys, welcome. Welcome back, welcome aboard, welcome home, however that resonates for you. Today we're going to talk about the Aquarius full moon happening on the 1st of August at 9 degrees Aquarius. That happens at 1:32 p.m. Central Time. I have 3 piles. You can pick your message for this full moon. If you wish, you can listen to 1, 2, or 3 of them. First, I'm going to offer that beautiful magic space where you get to utilize your intuition to become part of this process while I do the shuffling and the card making, or the pile making this time. I'm going to also discuss the astrology. So if you want to hear the astrology, you get to witness the shuffling. If you want to witness the shuffling, you get to hear the astrology, or you can roll right on through if you have chosen. This is pile number 1. This is pile number 2. This is pile number 3. Let's get right in. All right, guys. While we do shuffling, we are going to talk about the astrology of this Aquarius full moon. Now, I like to consider the shuffling portion to be where your magic comes in. Usually, you will hear me say, you can feel free to skip through this. And I will again say, you can feel free to skip through this if you'd like. However, today we're going to talk about the astrology while we shuffle. So you might want to stick around. That's entirely up to you. So this Aquarius full moon happens at 9 degrees of Aquarius at 1:32 Central in the afternoon PM. This is also a blue moon, which means that this full moon happens in twice in a month, right? So we have this full moon on the 1st, and then we have another one on the 30th. And so always significant. And the key here is that what we're going to do is pay attention to the cycle between these 2 full moons. The next full moon is in Pisces, right? And so this moon cycle from the 1st of Aquarius to the 30th, from the 1st of August to the 30th of August may feel a little bit more sensitive or intense, right? Because of the compression of the energy into this calendar month, right? And so here's the deal. It might feel more sensitive, right? Might feel more intense. It also might feel like more of a relief as the cycle comes to a close on the 30th. So just pay attention. So as always, we have a full moon, which is an opposition of the Leo sun to the Aquarius moon in this particular case. And so this is about an opposition of head and heart. And here in Eileen Land, we talk about oppositions as opportunities, right? So this is an opportunity to find the balance between your head and your heart. Now, this particular full moon is squaring Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and luck and fortune. That planet happens to be sitting at 13 degrees Taurus right now in square to both of these celestial bodies. And so this square happens to be about self-limitation. And here's the thing. Squares are, again, opportunities, right? There's nothing that the cosmos is going to give you that's not coming with a gift in its hand. And so that square with Jupiter is creating an opportunity for you to create balance, a reciprocity, a dynamic movement in the tension of that square. And so the more you can witness your head or your heart being in movement with, right? Support of, balance back and forth with your head and your heart, right? What you're expanding or what you're not expanding, or where you're biting off more than you can chew, where you're over promising and risking under delivery. This is a key, right? And the thing is, this full moon is in Aquarius, which is an air sign. Even though Aquarius is the water Bearer, this is an air sign, so this is about thoughts. Now, our opposite side full moon at the end of this month is Pisces, which is all about feelings, right? So right now, it's about changing your mind so that you can change your life, right? So how are you going to be focused on your words, your expressions, your intellect, your beliefs, and what lies behind those things so that you can shift and change your feelings as we witness that Pisces full moon at the end of this month. So, also, this full moon happens with Venus, which is in retrograde, trining the nodes. Well, she's trining the north node and sextiling the south node, right? So this is a progress check. Oh, hello. A progress check. So where are you utilizing your skills and where are you ignoring them, right? Where are you really focusing on your mission and where are you kind of dilly-dallying with the gifts and skills and talents that are innate within you? Pay attention, right? And Venus is always about that experience of home. And when we talk about home here, we talk about what home, that feeling, right? What it feels like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, what it tastes like, where it activates your particular senses of home. We also witness Mercury in opposition to Saturn. And so this, because Saturn is in retrograde right now, this is about misunderstandings. It's about not claiming your freedoms. It's about claiming your limitations. And it's also about the capacity you have for self-fulfilling prophecy, right? So where are you speaking your story into action and where are you speaking it into stagnation, paying attention, right? We also have Mars trining Jupiter. And so this is about functional growth, right? It's about doing the things that you know you need to do and knowing that they're going to create a routine that will create the future that you are intending, that you are visioning, that you are choosing. And this is really important in that right now we're in this cycle. Between these full moons, we have a lot of other things happening, right? We've got Pluto also sextiling Neptune. We've got Neptune sextiling Taurus. And so this is about shifting according to your heart's clarity, right? Again, circling back to that experience of home. So this is an invitation to be fearless in your application of new information, right? And not fearing the shift or change that is necessitated when you come across something that's new. And so the themes at this full moon, right, that are really pervasive, as we have Aquarius and Leo energy, right, which is me and us. Right, how that self-concept fits into the highest actuated self in service. We also have themes of self and other, right, with Pluto and the nodes, and how we have the skills to heal and to be in relationship, right? The fact of the matter is that we heal in solitude. We tell our stories in solitude, but we test those lessons and theories in relationship, and that this is the very nature of our duality-based reality. So as we have this full moon in Aquarius, we're really going to be witnessing the me versus you, right? How does me and you become we? What is our highest good? What is our best aspiration? And what can we release, right? What can we detox? And as we have these aspects to Venus in retrograde, we're really talking about heavy emotions. How can we release those? And with Chiron activating, we have our emotional baggage, and take that for our emotional stories that are really, really carrying things that hurt and what that means to us, right? What that means to our story. And not just our story, but to our life and our reality and our existence and the way that we're structuring all of those things. Because we have so much beautiful energy here. I would like you to take a choice, right? Not only with these beautiful card piles, but also these gorgeous shells, right? These are straight from Mother Earth. And so if you'd like to look at them a little more closely, right? This is a beautiful, beautiful top of a nautilus shell. Well, not a nautilus, but you know what I'm saying. So we have this gorgeous piece. I think this is coral. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Lovely. And then we have this gorgeous guy. Look at that. So take just a second. Take as much time as you need here, right? You can pause the frame if you'd like, or you can just breathe and allow your pile to choose you. And again, this is where your magic comes in, right? This is where you become part of your process and part of your message invitation. So you just feel into that. See which pile is yours today. All right, pile number 1, or those of you who have chosen this Pokey Guy shell. I love it, it's beautiful. Let's get into your cards, shall we? Okay, so we start with day by day for you. And this is about routine, right? This is about how you structure your life and the things that you choose to do day by day, the way that you create your routine, the way that you forge your circumstance, right? You know, that theory, we are our choices. This comes right in here with a big note to the way that you choose how you do what you do. And as we approach this full moon and we have Mercury in opposition to Saturn, right? Saturn is about the way that you structure your life in the day to day, right? The way that you choose your routine, the way that you choose your structure. And we see this paired with the Enchanter, right? And so this card is lovely. It is about deception. It's about trickery, and it's about your intention, and it's about how you show up in relationship. And that relationship could be with you or with yourself, right? What story are you telling yourself? Is it the authentic story? Is it the story of your actual healing? Or is it smoke and mirrors, right? These are questions only you can answer. How are you limiting yourself, right? What skills, again, we talk about this as a progress check. What skills are you utilizing? And where are you ignoring your gifts, right? So anywhere where you are out of alignment with what you're choosing as your process is going to hinder your progress, right? And so the way that you choose that is in the day by day. Ooh, okay. All right. So we have protection, right? So this protection card is a card of divine protection. It is a card that indicates you are protected from, you're protected from outside influence. You're not protected from the consequences of your actions. And so as we're talking about this cycle, this full moon cycle, as being part of this self and other healing, we're going to talk about the fact that you're protected here, right? This is a door knocker, and the key to remembering how this works is just because things knock on your door does not mean that you are obligated to open that door, right? What are we releasing? We are releasing heavy emotions. You might be being requested to release some deep-seated beliefs or some old, let's call them relationship attachments, right? So again, we're talking about really finding a way to be fearless in your application of new information. And if you realize, or you have realized, or you're coming to the revelation that there are people or situations in your life that are not healthy and that are not serving you, it is not just your invitation, but you may consider it as your obligation to be in release of that. Simply because we don't want to be carrying things that are heavy or hurtful, right? So the last card you have here in terms of an oracle card is the White Buffalo. This is a message. This is a message card that you, in fact, have this protection. White Buffalo is a figure in Native American history, and she comes to teach her tribe that there are specific ways to do things, that there are things that must be honored and carried on. She is the keeper of secret wisdom, right? And so anything that you're choosing that is not honoring your secret wisdom or what you know to be true, you may want to consider that as part of the way that you are self-deceiving, right? And look for a way to shift that. We're talking about anywhere between me and you, right? Anywhere between what I'm doing and what I need to do, anything there. And right now we're focusing on our thoughts, right? How can I shift these beliefs? Let's see what Tarot has to say here. All right, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles, and this is about what you do, right? Mastery through devotion, dedication, repetition. The Five of Swords, the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Cups, and the Ten of Cups. All right, so let's look here and say what it appears is that you are coming out. Oh yeah, okay, so here's another conflict and deception, right? And these are all beautiful entries of some kind of heart healing opportunity. Yeah, okay, so I'm going to say that there is a place in your existence, pile one, where you have had some kind of conflict, and it has created a response in you, a reaction that caused you to draw back, right? To pull back from what you knew was on your path. And what you're being reminded of here is a shift that you, Nine of Cups, right, is all about. I am in control of my emotional fulfillment. My head and my heart all depend on me. I am the balancer. I am the active participant. So this is about taking action on the fact that you know this deception was a deception. And regardless of how or why you allowed yourself to be derailed, right, you knew that it was a deception at the time, or in reflection you learned that, right? That Four of Pentacles, that phase where you kind of withdrew and allowed for yourself to learn what was going on. So either you're coming out of this cycle, or you're invited to look at a place where you are feeling left out, or where you're feeling like your hard work is being, I'm called to say, like somebody is taking something from you. Someone is using your hard work for their own gain. And I think you're being protected here, right? And your routine has been, let's call it, usurped is the word that I want to use, so we'll just call it that. Your routine has been usurped by someone who either made promises to you that this would benefit you somehow, but it did not, right? And so the universe is coming in right now and saying, where are you in withdrawal from that, and just avoiding that conflict, avoiding that confrontation, and in fact I believe that your message, pile number 1, is to put into action a boundary, put into action that line in the sand where you have to probably say to this person, I'm so sorry, but I know better. This is my work and I'm claiming it. So that you can really be in your functional growth. And so, and here's the payoff, right? The payoff is self-sufficiency, motion that fills your cup, right? Your heart, your soul. And then that 10 of Cups energy is, we've got this, right? So this is lovely. Whatever it is that's moving through for you this cycle, you're going to call something out. And I think it's something that you already have discovered, something that you already know, but you're going to front and center it in such a way that you get back to your routine and you're going to be reaping the benefits of your hard work instead of someone else, right? Ooh, I like it. Whatever this is, make sure that you just move through it carefully, right? Because again, we're talking about this theme of self and other, right? And how we're compiling and compressing our skills to move through those conflicts in a healthy way, in a constructive way. And that doesn't mean that we have to allow ourselves to be taken advantage of. Just because we know we're protected doesn't mean we get free reign. We still are going to always live by the consequences of our actions. But it's okay to claim yourself as, no, I'm immune. And I'm no longer going to allow the consequences of or your actions to dictate mine, right? So, yeah, pile number 1, this is going to be a powerful cycle for you. And if you can really rein in that Mars energy, trining Jupiter, and really start doing those things that you know you need to do so that they can create that routine for you, for your vision, for your future, right? You know what they are. You know where they're going to take you, and you know you have the power to get it done. So this is a really powerful cycle, and I can't wait to hear how this manifests for you. Take care. Thank you so much for being here. If this message resonated, please pick it up and run with it. If not, it's okay to leave it here. It's okay to listen to another pile or just take the pieces that you like. Whatever, it doesn't really matter. I just want you to enjoy this beautiful full moon energy and take care. Big blessings. Alrighty. Pile number 2. Let's see what messages you have for this Aquarius full moon, shall we? All right, you start with Trust Your Long Game. So this card resonates with the 3 of Wands for me. This is about what is coming in for you, what kind of path you have laid for yourself. This is about where you believe that you are worthy, what kind of seeds you have planted. And because it's Wands, this is about what sets your heart on fire, right? And so as we're talking about this full moon, right, this is a balance of head and heart. And so how do we sow our seeds, especially that we have this Leo Aquarius axis with this full moon, right? This is definitely about heart and what kind of seeds you're planting, right, with that Leo consciousness and that Aquarian call in, right, that air energy, really creating fuel for that fire. And then the Musician card here, this is lovely, right? So the Musician is all about how we overcome, how we come out of what could feel like a period of darkness, or that dark night of the soul. And the Musician is where we find that inspiration and how our gratitude can shift and change a situation that felt hopeless or impossible, right? And so this is the way that we step in to shift and change, the way that we start to celebrate where we are so that we can actually move forward. Yeah, I like it so far. Ooh, all right. So next you have leadership. Now, I like this because this is about the acceptance of responsibility, right? Leadership is a gift. Leadership is where we assert our confidence, and I want to say we assert our dominance, but that's not really it. It's about how we begin to trust our skills, right? And so as we have that beautiful Venus trine and sextile to the nodes, which are squaring Pluto, of course, really activating that that way where we're going to utilize our skills and have that moment of check my progress really at depth, right? So this might be the way that you have come to believe that you must be in a relationship, or that you must be in a relationship with yourself. Remember, this is a real theme. It doesn't matter whether the relationship is with yourself or with someone or something else. That's always that triad of relationship, right? Where 1 and 1 makes 3, which is true. And so how are you ready, right, to shift things and fearlessly, right, fearlessly apply your new information here? Because remember, leadership is always going to be about the application of new information. Oh, all right. Well, so here you have the Gate, right? And this card is basically offering you a portal, an area of transport, right? That motion from toward. And so as we talk about healing in solitude and testing our lessons in relationship, this is the way that you move through. And right, we have this very heavy fixed energy as this cycle moves, right? And so what we're trying to do is release and move from one place to the next. And the only way that we can do that is if we're willing to allow our inspirations to move us through something, to move us into that next phase, right? It's functional growth here, functional growth. It's not enough to recognize what's been going on or where you've been stuck. That's great. But it has to be functional growth, right? What am I going to do about this? What actions am I going to take? How am I going to utilize the skills that I have, right? This is all about leadership and the opportunity to move through a thing. Let's check out your tarot. Ooh, Ace of Wands. Okay, that's hot, right? That's definitely hot. Page of Swords, all about moving ideas. Wow, Page of Pentacles, all about really actual practical functional growth, right? That's beautiful. The Two of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles. Wow, pile 2. And the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Wow, pile number 2. Doggone. So let's just have this moment here to appreciate what you're being offered. So wherever you've been, right, whatever's been going on in terms of your current situation, or your past situation, right? What got you here is about to change. And it's about to change in what appears to be very big ways, right? You have 2 pages and an ace on top. This is new ideas, this is new opportunities, and this is really them being offered to you, right? We know that the ace, all aces are offerings from the universe that we must accept with gratitude and then put into motion, right? It's not enough to put an ace in a drawer and sit around and wait for it to move on its own. You are under the obligation to put that into motion on your own. And those pages bring you support, right? Pages are things that come into your field and offer you an idea or a practical way to put something into motion. So whatever this is that's going to kind of flip your switch and trip your trigger here to activate this next level. And by level, I never mean up or down, better or worse. I simply mean a shift in, right? Sometimes we talk about shifts as dimensions, right? Always inward, but it's a dimensional shift. And so this is an idea that will help you, an application that will help you, an opportunity that will help you. These could come in the form of ideas or people, or it could even be, a billboard you drive by every day and simply see in a different way. And that allows you to shift and change everything, absolutely everything. Now, here's the deal. You still have to hold your vision. You still have to know what you want. Right? You can't just expect it to move on its own, right? You might hear the music, but unless you activate your own dance or symphony, nothing is going to happen. Well, you also have the portal and the energy of leadership to move, right? To move here. And so down on the bottom, you've got the Two of Cups, which is, right? This is divine relationship. This is, absolute right connection. And so as we're talking about this energy right now as being part of that node squaring Pluto, right, where we are actually creating new skills, new ways to be in relationship, and really healing how we are so that we can heal how we are in relationship, right? This is the essence of the very nature of our duality-based reality. And so the way that we're willing to release our heavy emotions, our baggage, all of those things that hurt us, right? You have to dump out what's in the cup in order to fill it again. So this is an offering, right? This Aquarius full moon for you is a way to dump out that cup so that it is able to be utilized and contained in a very practical and functional way, right? We're talking about a cup full of love, but it still has to be empty in order to be filled with what you want. So how you're detoxing here is absolutely going to create this next level for you, which is abundant relationship, which is you as the creator of your own experience, which is you as the creator of your own legacy. And that's beautiful. And so your power returns to you as a gift, right? In the form of a gift. And what it requires is your recognition and release of either a long-standing pattern or the presence of something that will allow you to shift and change. So pile number 2, I believe that your message is that something is coming in for you that is going to allow you to release something that has been toxic or very heavy. And remember that the only thing that we ever release that's toxic is a part of ourselves that has been holding us back, our limitation, our self-limitation. And so the way that you're going to step into that is to recreate yourself in higher service. Yeah, I love it. Pile number 2. I can't wait to hear how this plays out for you. So keep me posted. Anything in this section that resonated for you, feel free to pick that up and run with it. Anything that did not, feel free to leave it here. You can keep listening if you'd like. Either way, I'll see you next time. Enjoy this full moon. Be blessed. All right, pile number 3. Let's get into your messages, shall we? Yeah. All right, so we have act accordingly. And I like this in relation to this Aquarius full moon because we're really talking about taking action, right? How we are in motion with our own healing, with the stories that we're telling, right? And it's very important to understand that telling your story is an action, right? This is a choice. It's the way that you're choosing to structure your life, your story, your everything, your relationship to any and everything else. And when we consider that our big theme right here is about self and other and what we're doing about those things, it's important to understand that the actions that we're taking are critical. You also have the alchemist, right, which is balance and intervention and destruction. Those are the words we have here. So this is about creation and destruction. This is about that Shiva consciousness that understands that in order to move forward, we must allow ourselves to release, right? We can't build anything on a crowded platform. We can't bring anything into a space that's full. We cannot reach for anything if our hands are otherwise occupied. And so the way that we are in flow, the way that we're carrying things that we already know into the present moment, right? That's our functional growth, right? What is it that we're intending? What is it that we're choosing? What is it that we're going to create from? Right, and that alchemist is really talking about transformation and transmutation. Nice. So you get healing energy, right? And so this sometimes witnesses that there are things that we need to heal, right? Structures or patterns or beliefs that we have that we need to move through, that we need to deconstruct, that we need to deprogram, that we need to explore. And the way that we do that is through action, right? But again, this is a self-action. We're working on our thoughts, our feelings, our patterns. That's all that we can create. And so the way that we call, oh, see, that's transmutation right there. The way that we are taking stock of what has been in order to create the now, not what will become, but in order to create the now, right? And the now is simply us in that position to respond as opposed to react. So as we're choosing this cycle of self and other, head and heart, right? Motion and stillness. What we're being asked to do is really take stock of what we have in our bags in order that we can fearlessly apply that new information in order that we may heal. Oh, look at that. So you have the word. I love this card. So as you can see, she's leaning, right? Her wings are her support. And she's getting ready to write, right? The word. I am the word, right? Made flesh. And so what it is that we're writing is what we're receiving, right? That's our healing energy. And so those places where we might not be claiming our highest, where we might not be claiming our healing, need to be rewritten. And that is what... that's what this cycle is being asked to do. It sounds like you might have a highlight in that area. So let's look and see. So you have the Emperor, the Seven of Cups. Ooh, 2 sevens, the Seven of Pentacles. You have the Four of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Sun. All right. So pile number 3. Okay, so this is about structures and perhaps confusion and waiting, right? Sowing seeds, planting ideas, having many options. The Emperor is that energy of rigid structure. This is the way things go. This is how they've always been. This is our pattern. This is our cycle, right? And so this creates that idea that what has been must always be. And the Seven of Cups says, are you sure? Because I'm not so sure. There are some other options. Have you considered exploring them? And the Seven of Pentacles says, you know, it might be smart to plant some of these ideas, right? Instead of just traveling in your rut, right? And I really do witness Emperor energy as being in a rut, but having the power, the total power to shift and change out of that rut. The Seven of Cups brings you into an energy that's expansive and wide open, right? And so how can you create a self-expansion as opposed to a self-limitation, right? What story are you telling based on your willingness to really jettison that emotional baggage, to get rid of those things that are not in alignment, that are weighty, that hurt, right? And so the upside of that is the Four of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Sun, right? And so I like the way that this is so linear here. And the Four of Wands, right? This is a card of, you know, this is soulmate energy. This is bliss. This is happiness. This is ultimate joy. This is look what we have created, right? And as we're in that energy of self and other, of balance, right? Of really writing our own new story and acting accordingly. The way that we move through that to that is a choice, an expansion, right? This is a withdrawing. This is an expansion. This is that contracted energy, that rigid energy. And then we see here all of these options and fearlessly exploring them all, fearlessly being in relativity to each and every one of them, right? We might heal in the solitude of our own minds, but we have to test those theories, right? Those practical applications, and how we're going to create that future that we're intending, that vision, that choice, right? Is that fearless application. And whatever seeds we're going to sow, right? The Sun, this is the happiest card in the deck. This is, holy cow, look what I have called in. Look what I have. I mean, he's always flying his big, beautiful flag in the bright, bright light, right? And we have the light of this full moon, which is asking you, what can you get rid of? What can you transmute? What can you rewrite? What actions are you going to take? Right? The Sun is the card of action. He's riding upon his beautiful horse, bathed in the light, right? So what are you claiming, right? What skills are you going to claim? What opportunities are you going to put into motion for yourself, right? Seven of Pentacles is a card of motion, right? Bamboo, we plant bamboo, we tend it for 5 years before it sprouts, before we even see a bit of that of reward, and that's not really reward, but before we gain any momentum on what has been planted, what has been in potential, right? So these are all cards of witnessing that potential coming to light, right? This is all about potential, always being present, always being present. The gift of this energy that allows for the flow into that next thing, right? Never being rigid, never being stuck, always being in anticipation of. And so pile number 3, I think that your theme for this Aquarius full moon cycle is to really look at where your patterns are, where your 90-degree angles are, right? Your straight lines, and start to perhaps create a trajectory that's a little bit different, right? Not so prescribed, but instead something that feels more with your flow, right? And that feels like you're really kind of riding the wave of that nature of reality, which is always about the full spectrum, right? So where are you, your limitation? Figure that out, right? Figure out where you're too linear. Figure out where you say, no, I can't do that. That's no, right? Wherever you contract, wherever you hold back, ask yourself why. Ask yourself why, and see if there's a different way that you can do that. And if you can't do it today, that's okay. That's okay. Plant the seed yet, right? ... Yet. Someday, perhaps, I can't do that yet. I choose not to do that now, but someday I will, right? There's always room for growth. You're writing that story. Every decision you make, you have the power to decide what day is the day that I can't becomes, oh, I do this now, right? And then you move into action, acting accordingly. Ooh, I like it. So mind your patterns, because something is being offered as a shift or change, right? And as we know, carrying those things that hurt, sometimes it's scary to let them go. But you always have the option. You always have the option to rewrite that story in a new, in a healed way, in a way that allows you to use all that energy that's offered to you, that's always available, right, is simply in potential right now. That's okay. Woo! That's a big one for you guys, pile 3. So here's the deal. I can't wait to hear how this flows out for you. Yeah. And anything that resonated for you, please feel free to pick it up and put it into motion. Anything that does not resonate for you, feel free to leave here. It's all good. If you didn't find messages here, you may find them next time. Until then, be blessed and take care.